What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be reviewing and breaking down Superman and Lois Season 3, Episode 3. So the episode starts with Metropolis collapsing and Lois being in danger, screaming for Clark to save her. Obviously, you could tell that this is going to be a nightmare from Clark, most likely just because of, the Lois cancer stuff. So yeah, then we see Lois telling everyone else about her cancer, like, her sister Lucy, Lana's family, Sam Lane, and others. This is really emotional, especially for Sam Lane. That was a pretty good scene right there. And then yeah, still even with Lois's cancer, she's still digging into the Bruno Mannheim stuff. I'm really interested to see what else is going to happen with him, because he so far has been a very, very good villain. And yeah, also with Lois still investigating Bruno Mannheim, she ends up missing her chemotherapy appointment, which obviously is insane because she has cancer. So yeah, that was a big point of the episode as well. But then we see Clark having the exact same nightmare as he did to start the episode, with Lois dying as Metropolis is crumbling to the ground. Obviously, like I said, this is most likely linked to him thinking about Lois's cancer. But then at Lois's chemotherapy appointment, Clark hears something happening that he needs to deal with, so he leaves Lois alone, and she leaves again to investigate Bruno Mannheim, probably as a way to just, distract herself from everything that she's been going through. So Lois finds herself in a warehouse linked to Bruno Mannheim, and she goes into a freezer with like tons of packages of blood everywhere. And when she tries to call Superman, she can't, or get his attention with that like high-pitched sound thing. She can't, likely because the freezer she's in is laced in lead. So obviously Superman, John Henry, and General Lane start to panic to try and find her. So Lois finally gets caught by the people who are at the warehouse, who obviously are linked to Bruno Mannheim, but she also comes out of the lead-sealed freezer, so she's able to contact Superman. But one of Bruno Mannheim's men has a kryptonite weapon. I'm not sure if he's meant to be like a Metallo type of character, if you guys remember that character from Supergirl, or I mean, later than that in the Arrowverse. But yeah, I don't know if he's meant to be something like that. But he was able to pick a good fight with Superman, obviously because he has kryptonite. But then, of course, John Henry comes in and saves the day from the kryptonite Metallo guy. But then we find out that all the blood from that warehouse belonged to Superman. So that's how Bruno Mannheim is creating these Kryptonians like Henry Miller, because he's got tons of Superman's super-powered blood, creating all these different Kryptonians with Superman's power. So that definitely makes sense right there. And then to end off the episode, Lois finally goes and gets her chemotherapy, so it'll be really interesting to see what exactly else will happen with that storyline in the rest of the season. Now guys, there is actually one more thing I want to go over in this video, and that is some recently released set photos of the season finale from Candidagraphs, of course. And it's not exactly what's in the set photos that's interesting, but rather what Candidagraphs describes as happening is what the most interesting thing is. Now, from what I can tell, obviously we have Superman here. He's apparently in a fight with some other super-powered being, because they say that in, Candidagraphs describes that there's supposed to be something coming down from the sky and like crashing towards Earth. That Superman is fighting, so you have that there. Now, the phrase on set, "his spikes grow," was something, that was what was, I guess, said or seen on set. So that obviously has to be a reference to Doomsday. Now, whatever fight is going on here, it did not finish, I don't believe. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think they've finished this fight. So what I'm going to assume is that this is going to be a Doomsday cliffhanger at the end of Superman and Lois Season 3. Now, how exactly could this be Doomsday? Now, after watching this episode right here, episode 3, I got the theory that so if you guys watched the end of the episode, we saw Henry Miller inside a tank, right? And he's got like a brain tumor or whatever. Now, I really thought after the first episode they'd like kill him off or something along those lines, but they never did that. And I guess it's because they probably have something planned for him in the future of the season. And I really think he could end up becoming Doomsday. Now, another thing I want to point out is that Lex Luthor is going to be appearing in the season, and obviously he has been known to create Doomsday in obviously Batman vs Superman from a few years ago, that movie, if you guys have seen that. So yeah, I think that would be a really interesting storyline if Lex Luthor had something to do with the creation of Doomsday for a Season 3 cliffhanger. Now, obviously, Doomsday has been known to kill Superman in, obviously, the comics and, multiple movies. So I think that would be more of a cliffhanger instead of just Doomsday appearing as the cliffhanger. So maybe the fight does finish. Maybe Doomsday does end up killing Superman in the finale. And then, we go into Season 4 with, them figuring out how to bring Superman back and all that stuff. So yeah, nonetheless, if this actually is Doomsday, I think that would be absolutely awesome. Of course, they did, sort of tease Doomsday back in Season 2. When they were doing the Bizarro stuff. So yeah, now that we're maybe finally getting it, I think that should be really cool to see. But anyways, I'd say that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment your thoughts on this video down below, as well as your thoughts on the episode and this Doomsday stuff. Do you guys think it's actually going to happen? And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.